The Gaza Strip has been practically taken over by the IDF, except for one last standing Hamas stronghold.
Victory is within reach. We're going to do it. We're going to get the remaining Hamas terrorist battalions in Rafah, which is the last bastion, but we're going to do it, and in this I agree with the Americans, we're going to do it while providing safe passage for the civilian population so they can leave.
How complicated will it be to allow that civilian population to leave? These images could perhaps tell the story. This is a view of the city before the war, and this is what it looks like now. From a medium-sized town some 20 miles south of Gaza City, Rafah has become a massive refugee camp housing more than half of the population of the entire Gaza Strip, those who fled the war further north. The prospect of a military action in a small area packed with nearly 1.5 million people is raising alarm.
We are extremely worried about the fate of civilians in Rafah. I think what is clear is that people need to be protected, but we also do not want to see any forced displacement, forced mass displacement of people, which is by definition against their will.
As pressure mounts on Israel to reconsider its plans about Rafah, one country in the region is especially worried. The city is divided between the Gaza Strip and Egypt, and Egyptian authorities are concerned about a massive wave of migrants crossing the border. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry saying on Saturday, the Israeli remarks about military action in Rafah raised the concern of a humanitarian catastrophe, while also noting that the 1.4 million people packed in Rafah are unable to protect themselves. In previous comments, Egypt reportedly threatened an Israeli operation in Rafah may have implications on the sensitive relations between the two countries. Concerns are also being raised by Israel's closest allies. British Foreign Minister David Cameron said he's worried about the prospect of a military offensive in Rafah, with over half of Gaza's population sheltering in the area, and similar voices were heard in Washington.
I think you all know more than 1 million Palestinians are sheltering in and around Rafah. That's where they were told to go. There's a lot of displaced people there.
Concerns expressed in Washington, threats coming from Cairo, and now Hamas is saying any operation in Rafah will put an end to negotiations regarding a hostage deal. As it seems, and despite all that, Israel is determined to push forward.